Is the recent deployment of 10,000 Indian soldiers to the China border a strategic defense maneuver, or a political move ahead of the upcoming elections? This is the provocative question that has not only our country, but the world watching with bated breath. Could this be a genuine security issue, or is it a political gambit by the ruling party, as the opposition claims? This controversy has stirred up international attention and speculation. So let's dive into the timeline of events and see if we can discern the truth. To understand the context fully, we have to go back to the start and unravel the events as they unfolded. In the early days of the year, the Indian government made a significant announcement. A deployment of 10,000 troops was to be made to the India-China border. The reason given was to strengthen the nation's defense capabilities. However, the timing of the announcement raised several eyebrows. It coincided with the announcement of the upcoming election dates, leading to a whirlwind of speculation and concern. The opposition was quick to react. They were vocal in their criticism, accusing the ruling party of using the military for political gains. The opposition argued that the deployment was a strategic move to create a sense of national urgency and unite voters under the banner of patriotism. They claimed the ruling party was capitalizing on the tension with China to divert attention from domestic issues and consolidate their power. But this wasn't an isolated incident. Similar events had occurred in the past, further fueling the opposition's accusations. These historical repetitions seemed to suggest a pattern, a regular practice of sorts. It was as if a playbook was being used, where the lines between national security and political strategy were blurred. The opposition's criticism didn't stay confined within the country's borders. It was soon picked up by international media, adding another layer to the narrative. The global press discussed the opposition's accusations, highlighting the potential politicization of military deployments and its implications on the democratic process. American media in particular drew parallels with their own history, where the politicization of elections had previously been a hot topic. They highlighted the potential consequences of such practices, adding weight to the opposition's concerns and amplifying the debate. And so, we find ourselves in the midst of a complex political situation, where national security decisions, political strategies, and international scrutiny are intertwined. The timeline of events, from the troop deployment announcement to the international media's response, creates a tapestry of intrigue and speculation. Now that we have established the timeline, we can start analyzing the different viewpoints. First, let's consider the viewpoint of the defense sector. From a defense perspective, the India-China border has always been a region of strategic importance. This is due to its geographical location, which serves as a natural barrier between the two nations. The Himalayan region has been the site of several conflicts in the past, with both countries vying for control over key territories. In this context, the deployment of 10,000 troops is not an unprecedented move. In fact, it could be seen as a necessary measure to ensure the security of the nation and its citizens. The defense sector might argue that the troop deployment is a proactive step to bolster the country's security infrastructure, especially considering the historical tensions and conflicts that have occurred along this border. But let's delve a little deeper into the defense perspective. The deployment of troops could also be seen as a strategic move to deter potential threats. It sends a clear message to the opposing side that India is prepared to defend its territories and will not be caught off guard in the event of an unexpected incursion. Further, the defense sector could argue that this move is about maintaining a balance of power in the region. With China's rapid military advancements, the deployment of troops could be a way for India to assert its presence and show its readiness to meet any potential threats head-on. However, it's important to note that these are just potential reasons. The actual motivations for the troop deployment could be a combination of these factors or something entirely different. Defense strategies are often complex and multifaceted, involving a delicate balance between maintaining security, managing international relations, and preserving national interests. So, from a defense standpoint, the troop deployment could be seen as a necessary move, but what about the political angle? Now let's shift our focus to the political arena. In the labyrinth of Indian politics, the opposition has fired a salvo of allegations at the ruling party, accusing it of using the military as a tool for political gains. It's a serious charge, one that has been leveled in the backdrop of the deployment of 10,000 troops to the India-China border. This action, while seemingly a strategic move, has raised eyebrows due to its timing. It coincides almost too neatly with the announcement of election dates. The opposition claims that this isn't a coincidence, but a calculated move to drum up nationalistic fervor and rally voters around the flag. As the political plot thickens, it's worth looking back at history. This isn't the first time military actions have overlapped with elections. Similar incidents have occurred in the past, and the question that arises is whether this is becoming a regular practice. In the past, such moves have had a significant impact on the election results. The ruling party has often reaped the benefits of a surge in nationalist sentiments, swaying the balance in their favor. The opposition argues that the pattern is clear and condemns the politicization of the military for electoral gains. The ruling party, on the other hand, denies these allegations. They maintain that the troop deployment is purely a strategic decision, necessitated by the need to safeguard national interests. They argue that the timing is coincidental, not strategic. However, the fact remains that military actions have ripple effects that extend beyond the battlefield. They impact the socio-political landscape, influencing public sentiment, and shaping the narrative around elections. The timing of such moves, whether intentional or not, often casts a long shadow over the political landscape. Clearly, the political implications of this move cannot be overlooked. But what does the international community think about this? Lastly, let's examine the international perspective on this issue. Media outlets around the globe have been closely following the unfolding situation on the India-China border, with a particular focus on the political implications within India itself. American media, for instance, has been keenly observing the role of India's opposition in challenging the ruling party's actions. They've spotlighted the opposition's allegations that the ruling party is using military deployment as a tool for political gain, a narrative that has been echoed across various international platforms. Moreover, there's been a significant discourse about the politicization of elections in India. Just as we've seen in other parts of the world, the intertwining of military decisions and electoral politics is a topic that attracts substantial attention. The American media, known for its robust examination of election dynamics, has been no exception in this case. On a broader scale, these discussions highlight a global concern about the increasing intersection of military strategy and domestic politics. It's a theme that resonates far beyond India, touching on issues of democracy, governance, and the role of the military in society. So, as we can see, this issue has far-reaching implications beyond just the India-China border. In conclusion, the deployment of 10,000 troops to the India-China border is a complex issue with multiple layers. We've traced the sequence of events leading up to this moment, analyzed the defense perspective and the potential political implications. We've also taken into account the international viewpoint and how global media is reacting to this development. While it's not entirely clear whether this move is purely strategic or politically motivated, one thing is certain: it has stirred up a global conversation that we will be following closely.